have something to prepare for on the weekend with the preseason game. How has it kind of changed how you're approaching this week of preseason, and what do you want to see out of this first game?
Yeah, I think the first week was just a matter of getting towards the final squad, and obviously having looked at all the trialists. Now it's more moving towards game conditioned and working on our pressure and system and things like that as we get closer to, I mean, we're going to be I wouldn't say as prepared as we will opening night, but at least most of the important things will be sorted out before we get to Saturday night. Maybe not set pieces, but all the other pieces will be sorted out, and we've been working on pressure and things like that, and they're the most important things at this time of pre-season. The fitness level is higher than I anticipated coming in, which is great, which makes our lives a little bit easier. We've done a lot less running. We haven't needed to do it. The core group is very fit, so which has had a huge help to us, and spend more time doing technical things, which is great for us. So I'm looking forward to it.
Is it important to get a system and a consistency set up this early in preseason with this first game coming up, or are you still in a phase where you can experiment a little bit?
No, we're going to experiment. I mean, we've got 3-4 games. We're definitely going to experiment. Different type of systems, different formations. There's no question. I don't think you can have just one. There's not many teams in the world these days that just have one formation. I mean, top teams in the Premier League change all the time. I think the top clubs in the world change all the time, depending on what's going on, what they feel is to their advantage, and we'll continue to do that. I think it's a work in progress. It's a process for us from stage 1 till the final stage, and that's really what it is. Making sure that we hit the technical end, making sure we hit the tactical end, making sure the fitness end for all the players. We've got to build up the fitness of some of the other players that have come in late, and then you got the international players coming back, so you got to. Their fitness level's different from the other levels, so just managing all the different fitness levels is critical, and giving people what they need, in other words, to peak and get to their best, and then it's about putting all the pieces together, which we're trying to do.
At this point, with the group of trialists that you still have, are you planning on making more cuts, or would you think most of these girls are going to be here in some capacity?
I'm hoping most of them will be in some capacity. There'll be a couple probably have to go yet, but I'm hoping that they will be here in some capacity because they're good players and they've done well, and we're going to need players. There's no question. I think we all know we're going to need players, and I think a few of them will find themselves in the 18 come opening night, and that's the carrot for them, and hopefully they take the carrot and run with it. And I think a couple of them have prepared themselves. They got our packet pre-season, so they did prepare themselves like they were a player coming in, and I think that's been to their huge benefit for them.
Is it going to be kind of a chance to see them in game situations?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. I mean, we've only seen most of them. We've seen video. Obviously, a couple of the California girls we've not seen live, other than we've had them for 10 days. So I think for them to be able to show us what they can do in actual game. I mean, we played 11v11, but the level of play last week wasn't obviously as high as it is already. Even with Jodie coming in and with Rachel around, I think they just add to the level. And I've been telling them the level will get better each week. More players come in. More and more from Alex to Ao to Tobin, and as each player comes in, the level will get higher and harder, and you're going to have to be better. So every stage of your game is going to have to improve, and I think it's a developmental process for them. And they can say, "Oh, it's faster this week." I just asked a couple of them. They said it's a little bit faster this week than it was last week, and the pressure's a little bit quicker than it was last week. And I think that's just everybody getting now in tune, and the players. Kendall settled in really well. Sarah settled in really well. Jodie, settled in already. 2 days in, she's settled in. So I'm happy with all the new players. Kat Williamson's running the back line, which is great for us, and I'm happy, very happy so far.
What's having those 3 internationals in this week doing practice, and how long are they going to be here?
Well, Rachel will be on at the weekend. She'll be going back with the national team. Jodie will be with us for a while now. I mean, she'll go out for the English games, I think, early April. I don't even know what month we're in, March, right? So early April, but she'll be around. I think it's good for her just to get used to our coaching styles and the player style that we're going to play. And she's coming from a different club. It's always nice to meet everybody that you're going to be with off the field and on the field. I mean, I think they're having corned beef and cabbage tonight, so I think Rachel Bueller might be the chef tonight, which is hard to believe, but she's maybe the most Irish of all of them. So I think little things like that are critical for her to get to know the players, and she's a Liverpool fan, so it's easy for her to settle in.
Will we be seeing Jodie getting some significant playing time, Nadine getting some significant playing time on Saturday?
Oh yeah, I mean they're part of the team, and I'm not gonna. We're preparing for opening day, so they're here opening day. So as far as I'm concerned, they're part of preparing for opening day. So it's not, they don't want to be rested. I mean, I tried to give them off this morning, and they didn't want to take off. So I think they're just excited to be back in Portland, and as long as they're excited, we'll keep plugging along and have them in the lineup, and try and experiment and see who fits with who. And Jodie's got to get used to a midfield. Midfield's got to get used to Jodie. Cody. I love her style of play. I mean, it's, you know, she was offside more than anyone else last year, and I like that. Somebody that always on the last shoulder, and I think it's something that maybe it's a good addition to us. We really didn't have that player that was on the shoulder last year, so I think it's a big plus for us.
How